Wires, Heather Boyd Wire here, Wire Lady TV every Wednesday at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time-ish. And today I had a special request from Benjamin to make some swords and axes and lances for his Dungeons and Dragon game. So he had suggested making them out of paper clips. I'm also going to experiment with wire, and we are going to see how it goes. The other thing I was going to do was some resin with the number faces that we did last week, but I'll do that another time. You guys can check out the replay for the number faces in the playlist of live streams on this channel. And without further ado, I will flip this screen and we will get started. So let's just turn her around. There we go. And here are my sketches. So we'll see how that goes. And in the meantime, I will pull you up on my computer. Here's some tools. I'm going to get started. And I have some paper clips. So let me just grab my computer and see where we're at. And I am going to get on another browser here. I'm working on something there, and I will open up Firefox, I think is where I have my YouTube app, and we will have a look and see. Switch accounts. I have too many YouTube accounts. I have one for my wire tutorials, I have one for art, I have one called Start by Starting for motivation, and we are going to view the channel, view the live stream, and there we go. Amber is here. So if you guys don't already know, Tree Sap Girl is Amber, and she moderates the chat and does those amazing timestamps. Thank you, Amber, so much for all your help. And Mirta is here. Hi, Mirta. How are you doing? And Fatima. Hello, Fatima. Nice to see you. So I am going to get started. Make sure I have my glass of water. I don't think I'm going to use beads, but these are the sketches that I've done for the axes, and Benjamin wants them to be about 1.5 to 2 inches. So I'm going to see what I can do. Make sure these are centered well. That should be good. My chair's a little off. Move my chair down a little bit. There we go. I might have to adjust the camera a little bit, but I should be all right. And then I'm going to get my Sharpie so we can see this a little bit. Yeah, probably with paper clips. So he said he wanted with paper clips. This one's not as nice. This is a dollar store paper clip. It's not so good. So I'm going to remove the dollar store one. We are going to move those over. And I did a few sketches, so I haven't quite decided, like I'm really just troubleshooting here, but this would be, I thought this would be really fun to do out of metal, but I don't really have any metal that I can cut and not to be too sharp. So for now, I think I'm just going to do them out of wire. Like we could definitely do like a little wrap type of thing if we made that with a separate piece. And then I guess if this is an axe, the end doesn't have to be really sharp, but you can, you can do any kind of end that you want on it. And then the lance, he had actually sent me a picture of a lance. I didn't really know what it was. And the picture he sent had some like crisscross things on it. So he really just said I could do anything I want with this. So would be the lance. So it would be like just a sharp end. And then the sword, of course. A lot of people have done wire swords before. I did some wire swords at some point. I think I did one probably did one out of paper clips. In fact, that's maybe how he saw it. So we could do a sword like that. The other way to do a sword would be and they're not jewelry, these are decorations. So swords usually have some kind of like handle type of thing. So you could do like a little handle, a little end, and then just kind of, as long as the end is pointy. So there's a lot you can do with it. You could also do a kind of like a spiral thing to make it fancy. Definitely there's a lot of different things that you can do to make these more interesting. I've seen them kind of wider at the bottom. I've seen a line down the middle. So there's definitely lots of things that we could do. And I think we'll start by just playing around with it. It's not going to be a super long live stream today. I'm just going to play around with these designs and then see what I can do. So if we're going to start, when you open your paper clips, you really have to just go slowly and push them out like that. And they'll still maybe even be a little bit kinky, but that's okay, no problem. We're just going to open them up like that. So keep in mind, paper clips are really hard. They're made out of stainless steel. I often have comments on the paperclip tutorials that these are too hard. Well, you can also try it with 20 gauge wire if you find the paper clips too hard. So that's just the nature of the paper clips. They're made like that so they will hold their shape. So you can kind of smooth it out with the nylon jaw pliers. I'm gonna have to get a new jaws for these pliers at some point because they are getting worn out. So the other way you can open up the paper clips is just by hand. So you can just open them up and push out those little kinks with your thumb. So depending on how much of a callus you have on your finger or how tough your skin is, you can do that. English teacher, yes, awesome. That's great, Mirta. I'm glad that you're learning a few new English words. Now this is hard to reach when you get to the end, so we're just going to open it up like that. So it works a little better with the pliers to get those little bends out, but either way is fine. So I'll probably end up doing these with actual wire. I find the paper clips are a little bit stiff, and also they're a little bit small because he wants them to be, I think he said 1.5 to 2, no, 4 to 5 centimeters. Oh, I wrote that wrong. He meant inches, 1.5 to 2 inches. So that ends up being quite large, right? So we're actually not going to have enough out of a paper clip to make the sword. So say you did want to make the sword, and I've done one before, but I'll just have to, let me just look it up. Pretty sure I did a sword. In fact, I think it's on, I have a TikTok account. I don't really use it that much. I've been posting a little more regularly these days, but I basically recycle videos that are on YouTube and make them smaller. So for this, for example, here, look at this. Here's the sword tutorial. Hopefully I'm centered underneath the screen. There you go. So this is me making the sword out of a paper clip. So now I don't have to do this demo because you can see how I do it. So this is TikTok. This is one of my more popular videos on TikTok. Large paper clips. Yeah, they probably would be, Amber, but they're going to be really hard. So I think I'm going to probably stick with wire, although I can try one large one to see how it goes. So yeah, so here's some designs for the paper clips. Oh, I actually did this one with 2 pieces of wire, more than 2 pieces of wire. Yeah, that's how I solved that problem. I used 2 pieces of wire. So that's that. So if you guys, let me just see. So if ever you want to look on TikTok, I am on TikTok just doing recycling videos that I've done previously. So there we go. I wouldn't say I'm super active on TikTok. So yeah, I'd have to see if I have some large paper clips. I might. But yeah, for example, so this one, you would just bend it. And I mean, I've done the axe already. So I've done that one already. So maybe I could try the axe like that and see. Let me just play around with it. You guys know how I start slowly and then we'll work our way out. So let's try with the axe. If we use the bail making pliers to make the curve, we're going to go around here. There we go. There we go. So if we start with the axe, just trying to get that shape a little bit. And you don't want to make it too small either. And we're going to bring this one in here. Yeah, the paper clips are very, very hard. So I think he's going to get these made out of wire. I can quickly see that. So let's just keep going with this. Bring this one out. You want to do as sharp a bend as possible as you can there. I'm going to bring this one in. Hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing. And bring this one around. Okay, so if we have something like that, I'm going to bring this one around. Yeah, these are super hard. And we're going to bring this. So imagine the big paper clips are going to be even harder. And he wants, I think, 4 of each. So yeah, I don't think I'm going to be doing too many out of the paper clips. So if we have, that's sort of the axe type of thing. And then we would have to do, maybe we could end it in here or bring, so what if we brought this down? Whoopsies. Yeah, that's really, really hard. Okay, so we're going to bring this down. I have to watch my hands too, because my hands get more pain than they used to, only because I do so much out of wire, but also just age, you know, with age you can develop arthritis and things like that. So my mom has arthritis, so I just have to be careful. So we've got that, and then if we bend that one down here, and then we're going to bend it up, but maybe you should bend it back on itself to actually look like the sort of the end of the axe type of thing. So that's the idea. See, you can do kind of an axe thing like that, but you see I'm quickly going to run out of wire. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the paper clips at the side. I'm going to try with some wire, and we are going to see how we do. So I have 22 gauge the wire there. Let me get some other gauges of wire in the silver. I have, I should have, if I find it, I should have 20. Well, I could use this one too. This is the bead long German wire, which is a little stiffer than regular silver wire. So we could try that one. And then 18 gauge is getting a little bit big, but I do have some if I need it. So there we go. So let us maybe try some of the German style wire, because it is a little stiffer. So let's try that. And yeah, no, they're very, very stiff, those paper clips. So I mainly do them just for fun for the tutorials, because people like them, but they are very hard. And I always tell people you can use 20 gauge wire if you can't manage the paper clips. So I think those are going to go on hold. Do not want to kill my hands, and we are going to start with, let's just cut a 8-inch piece of wire, because the paper clips are about 3 3/4, so this is almost twice the length of a paper clip. So let's do that, and we are going to straighten it out a little bit. Okay, and see what we could do here. I really like the idea of that being actually metal, but I also don't want it to be scratchy. But I could do that thing, remember that thing where we just wind the wire around? So here's the thing. So if we go around here, and around there, and around here, around here, and up, and then maybe we could do that, you know, chaos type wrap thing that we've done in the past. We can try that just to see how it goes, and then go from there. And we want to finish it kind of near the middle type of thing. So let's go ahead and bend this wire. Italian models. Didn't play with, I played. Cool. Yeah, I'm not that familiar with swords and, you know, how they look and that type of thing. But yeah, these are cool, all right. So what I'm going to do is I think I'm actually going to bend that a bit at a bit of an angle. And I mean, just bend it and really give it a pinch, because to get that sharp end, you're much better to bend it on itself. So then we take these, we're going to bend that around, and then if we bend it around here, and then out a little bit. So if we do, and then this one too, we should maybe bend it on with a smaller part of the pliers. Okay, so then we have something that looks more like that. And if we want to, this is going to be a little big now, so we can make it a little bit smaller than that. And maybe bring this one in a little bit. Okay, we're going to bring this one in a little bit here. Make sure I'm on screen still. Yeah, and so the 10-day earrings to make and sell challenge is officially over. Facebook group is closed until the fall, and then I have some ideas for the next challenge. So you guys, if you do want to do a 10-day challenge, you can look out for it coming in the fall. And I have a fun project that we're going to do. Well, 10 projects. So look out for that. I'm going to spend the summer prepping that, and we will go from there. So here, if we do that, and then we bend it back on itself, so it really looks like an axe. And then we're going to get this end. See, these are all different sizes for the beadle-on tools here. They're called bail making pliers. They're also called looping pliers. So if we do something like that, and if we want to try to get it to look a little bit even, with this one we might have to roll out a little bit. And sometimes it's hard to access with the bail making pliers because they're all like specific sizes. So I have my other larger round nose pliers that I can use to roll that out a little bit too. So sometimes I go back and forth with the two pliers. So we've got that and that. That looks pretty good. And then this, I was thinking I should maybe just go down with that. Maybe that would have been better. I don't know why I'm doing it this way, but we're gonna see. So, because my idea was to maybe clip it and then do this with a different separate piece, but I'm not sure that's gonna work or not. So let's just not worry about that. We're gonna bend this one around here, a little bit more maybe, here. And then this one, I could have wound around there, or I can clip it, because I was hoping it would be a separate piece. So I'm just gonna, I don't know if I want to do this, but I'm just gonna clip it to get it out of the way. Okay, and then we're gonna do this, and then we will bend it back on itself here, to the back, to the front, it's to the back. Okay, we're gonna do that about here, to the back, and then around. Okay, so let's do that. And maybe this one around here. Okay, so there we go. So that comes around here, but now I'm not even sure I want to do that chaos wrap to fill it in. It's going to get really, really complicated, although I've already started, so why don't I just try a little bit. I'm just going to use these pliers so I can get in there a little bit. So if we come in here, or we could do some weaving, but you guys know how much I like wire weaving, so maybe we won't do that. And we're going to bring this one around, okay, here. And yeah, this is definitely an experiment, and I probably will not do something like this, but the idea would be to try to kind of fill this in a little bit, and I can see already it's going to be a bit of a hassle, so I think we won't really do that. We can get in here with that. And Vikings, yes, definitely. There we go. Reminds me of my dad chopping wood at the cottage. Okay, so now we've only used about 6 inches of this, but I really like the idea of using it making it with a solid metal, but for now, I mean, it's okay. It looks a bit like a fish. So why don't we do a different colored handle for kicks? So if we get some 20 gauge wire, maybe about, I don't know, 6 inches or something. And I'm not sure I'm gonna do, I don't know what that pointy thing on the end is. Let me look up axes. We could even type a Viking axe, I think I typed Dungeon and Dragons axe because that was what it was from. So let me just Google Dungeons and Dragons. And then we're going to put axe. Images. Okay. So here's some Dungeons and Dragons axe. Oh, some have a little loop on the end. Okay. This one. Oh, they're kind of, oh, look at that. Some have our half, some are whole. And they're just, yeah, some are finished. Yeah, there's so many different kinds. I think the picture he sent me was more like this. So I think we're going to go with that. And I'm going to somehow, if we want it to be, like we want it to attach here. So would we twist it around or should I just start again? Let me just see. Yeah, this is one of these projects where there's so many possibilities for what you can do that it's it gets really tricky. So I think I have an idea what I want to do, and I think that I'm going to do it with the one piece of wire because I'm finding this is maybe not the best. This is not going to yield the best results, I don't think. So I think what I'm going to do is just finish this one for the sake of finishing it. And I probably should have done this a little bit. I should have done this one a little bit shorter, I think, so I could wind it around. So what if we just bring this one over here? Sorry if I'm going off screen. And that one up here. Okay, so say we just do something very, this wire is soft. Sometimes the wires are more soft than others. For some reason, this lot of the beetle on wire, of the artistic wire, is a little softer than usual. So I should have maybe used the 18 gauge. So let's just remove this. We're gonna try the 18 gauge. Okay, I'm gonna get a slightly longer piece, maybe about 8 inches. I'm gonna start at the bottom. Okay, we're gonna go here and up. Make sure I'm staying on the screen. And up. Perfect. Okay, so now this comes here, and then this will come up here. So this is gonna go here and here. I mean, it's pretty, it's nice, but is it gonna hold? That's the thing. So if we do this, and I wonder if we could, rather than, because I just want to finish these ends. Okay, I'm just going to do something really silly. I don't know if it makes sense. I'm going to clip these, and I'm going to leather strips. Good idea. I like that. Could wrap some black around it or something. So we're just going to turn this and turn this one. Okay, so these are like at the same height. I've just turned, because it's the key is to know how to finish the ends, right? So now we're just going to finish these. So there's a little loop on the end to finish them up. And then we can try to stick this on here. Oh, that should go to the back maybe. Maybe like that. Could be here or here. I don't know if I like that either. Oh, maybe that should go inside there. Could also do that, but then there's no little knob at the top. So if we do that one there, let me just check. If we do this one here, and then we just wind it around, might be interesting. Okay, let's just get some 22 gauge wire maybe. Okay, I'm gonna get some thinner wire to wrap that around. Let me just see. Okay, so 22. Okay. 22. 22. I have all kinds of, I have 22 silver, 22 gold I might have left downstairs. Oh no, I have 22 gold here. Look at that, right in front of my face. Okay, so 22 gold. Let's just cut some piece here. And then I'm gonna actually try something else because this isn't quite turning out how I wanted it to. So we are going to, yeah, if we wanted it really accurate, we can do wood and leather. Wouldn't that be cool? So we're gonna do this. And to get it to stay in place, maybe I should just put it through those loops and hold it here and bring that around. Yeah, this is definitely going to be a bit of a dud, but this is one of those ones that's showing me how to do it. So I'm winding it around either side of the axe here. Maybe bring it around again. Okay, and we'll just clip that one. Got a little clip. I'll clip it up. Okay, and then we will wind it around again and then bring it underneath and wind it around this a couple of times. Yeah, this is not going to work how I would have liked it to, but we're going to eliminate a few things here, and then we can kind of crisscross it to hold it in place. There we go. We just crisscrossed it a couple of times. I think that's good. We don't want too much wire either, so we're just going to clip that at the back. And keep in mind they're using these as game pieces, so we have to be careful. I mean, it's not horrible, but it's not the best. We're going to just bend these out a little bit. I mean, it definitely looks like an axe, but it's not what I had in mind. So we have two duds. So let's try another one with the all silver, and then we'll go from there. Oh, Bernice is here? Where's Bernice? Oh, no, Bernice, I thought you said Bernice was here. Jasmina would love this. Yes, a lot of people have made swords, and it's a very popular, kind of icon type of thing, and they're really fun to make. There's lots of possibilities. And yeah, what are we gonna do? Let's try again with the, we're gonna stick with 20 because I'm finding the 18's a little heavy duty. So let's try this one again, but with the, I'm just gonna go ahead and cut 10 inches, even though it's way too much. We're gonna cut 10 inches, and I wonder if you could even fill that in with some lacquer or something, or nail polish. You could, but like I said, they're gonna be using these as game pieces, so I don't want to have too much trouble with, how do you say, it like getting worn out or any of that stuff, even bent. I'm gonna just grab a couple of round forms to see which is gonna work well to make the axe. So I have a few round forms here. I'll use I love this Crayola marker. I use this one all the time. And we are going to start maybe around here, like not too far. Like you want enough of this to make a handle, but this is going to be maybe too much. So let's try this end of the marker. You can almost work your way down. Okay, there's that end of the marker, and keep in mind these are going to be about 1.5 inches. So we don't want that too big, so maybe that's also too big. So let's bring it down a bit. Let's bring it down a little bit. And we have that much. That should be good. Okay, so now let's go ahead and bend this back on itself. And then now we can get the looping pliers, and let's do it on the third to last size, maybe, or maybe the second to last size. We're gonna see. Let's try the second to last size, and then we'll go from there. So now we want to do this side, and honestly, I don't think Benjamin minds if they're not exactly all the same size, but I'm definitely going to nix those paper clips. That's gonna kill my hands. So, okay, so now, no, we still need a bit more of a curve. So let's go ahead, plan A, which was this size, okay? And now it's gonna be hard to access. So that's when we go in with these ones. And we just adjusted a bit with the larger round pliers. Now I can't tell you where to buy these pliers because I bought these 30 years ago in a surplus store. So you will never find these pliers. I bought them in Toronto. Is there a brand name on it? It says China. So good luck finding these, but they're awesome. So that would be the sword. And then now we're gonna bend it straight down. It's just gonna be easier. Love axes more than swords. Nice. Yay. Go chop that wood. There we go. So now we are going to take this and bend it straight down here. Okay. And then this side has to zoop down like that. So I'm just going to do that with my finger down there. You could also go in with your pliers if you prefer. And then we have to do a point to the back. So now we're going to do this point to the back. And I'll be sure to send pictures of these to Benjamin and he can tell me which one he likes. So we're going to do this around here and bend that around a little bit more. I'm still on the screen. Yep. So that's got a little edge to it here, and then we'll bend that straight down. Okay, so we're going to do that down. You can still make some adjustments if you want. So now I cut this wire too long, of course. It was 8 and then it was 10. So we've got that little edge, that little bit to the back there. So we could have actually made it more centered. We could have made this one a little bit less. You can always see that's something you can adjust. You can go into your corner, wiggle it back and forth to move it over. Okay, there's always a solution. And if you need to sharpen up that end, you just go in, pinch it, push it. So you can sharpen that end as you wish. And then this side should be moved over a little bit too. So we can open it up and move the pliers over and bend it down. Good. So how's that? How do you like them apples? My dad used to say that. I like it. There we go. So now we have to do some kind of, I guess we could have done a little knob. If we had done a little knob there too, but now it's too late. So if I was to do this one again, maybe I would do this, swoop, and around, and then maybe I would do like somehow do a little knob. And there, oh, it's not well centered. And there, and then down, and there, and down. I'm gonna move that knob over. I was like, I'm not gonna need an eraser. Yeah, I got it, it's all right. So there we go. Okay, so we're gonna go like that. So we can maybe do, if we did a little knob there, then when we went in to do our wire, it would work a little better. That's okay, we're gonna figure it out. So now, let's get some 22 gauge wire and measure about 10 inches. 10 is the magic number today. And Lindsay, hello. Lindsay, these are going to happen in a miniature Halloween scene. Ooh, great idea, love that. Would love to see a picture. And yeah, these are for a Dungeons and Dragons game for Benjamin. So I'll have to get him to take a picture of him and his buddies playing the game. So now we are going to crisscross, I guess, the wire. So up. I have to figure out the best way to crisscross this. Stay on screen and down. Wait. Oh no, we want to go to the angle. We want to go here. So if we, okay, straighten up, buddy. Okay, let me just fix this up. Perfect. There we go. Let's start again. Okay. Let's take this and I'm gonna bring, see if I had that, if I'd done the little knob, it would have worked better. So if we're gonna bring this a bit on a diagonal here. And I think I'm just gonna start winding and I'll deal with that end after. So if we take this and it might have been better to start with the wind. Let's just start with the wind. Okay, I'm just gonna straighten this again. Sometimes it's hard to know. A whisk and a rolling pin, yeah, those are fun too. The rolling pin I did with a bead. It was really really cute. Yeah, mini stuff is cool. I could do a whole thing with like miniatures. That'd be fun actually. That's a great idea. We'll just do like a little live stream making different miniatures for different whatever, any kind of icons type of thing. But I do like that idea because people like that kind of stuff either for little miniature things or scrapbooking. It's fun for scrapbooking, fun for games. I made a bunch of little Lego accessories at one point. That was fun, using plastic tubing in that. So yeah, the sky is the limit for that type of thing. So now I've started my wind. I mean, the wire weavers, if you want to wire weave, you can definitely do that. So because I don't have a knob there, I'm going to be having, see, I wanted to do a knob there, but because I don't have a knob there, it's going to be hard to crisscross this because there's nothing to crisscross it on. So we're just going to have to pretend there's something to hook it around and do a kind of a crisscross. I mean, it's not awful. Maybe a double crisscross would be better. Let's just try. So we do this here. I'll go around once. Like already my fingers are hurting a little bit just from pushing so hard, but that's okay. We're just gonna do this and then across this way and one more across this way. So we've done a little crisscross thing here. Would have been probably better if we had a little knob to crisscross it again. So that's, yeah, see, it would look nicer with a little edge up there, but that's okay. We're gonna just start with this. We're gonna bring this, I would like to at least make one of each of these so we have a good idea. Now, if you're finding these are twisting, maybe we can hold them. Okay. Food, yes. Yeah, lots of, oh gosh, the sky's the limit for the little stuff. That's for sure. So now, if we want to wind this around, I'm just trying to figure out the best way to hold this. I guess you can hold it with a clamp. You can buy kind of wire clamps too. You could maybe put the end in the clamp and wind it. Or if you just go ahead and do this, you could probably fix it after. It's just because it's getting a little bit, like the wires get a little bit distorted, but if you're weaving, it's different. You could definitely, if you wanted it to be wider, you can weave it. Okay, but we're just, if we just go do this, and then we're gonna have to go in and kind of unroll it a little bit too, and squeeze this together a little bit. I should have done it more as I went. There we go. Okay, so now let's just keep going down with it. And I mean, you could definitely add beads. There's a lot of things you can do with this, but I don't think I want beads for this project. It's just, we want them a little more masculine, let's say. Okay, we're gonna go around there, if that's even a thing anymore. There we go. So we're gonna go around here. Okay, so now we've got that, and I think we're just going to keep going down to the end, and maybe I could have cut I probably could have cut the twisty wire a little more, because now 10 inches doesn't seem to be enough. Like if you want it longer, you might have to do 12 inches, I'd say. 12 inches should do it. Okay, so it's pretty good. It's not awful. And then the bottom, it's up to you what you want to do with the bottom. So what you could do is clip one side. Hopefully not clip them both. So you can clip one side, and then if you did want to do a little fancy schmancy thing at the bottom, you could. Got that little end to pinch in too. So if you did want to do see, this one has a little, almost like a little arrowhead at the end, or you can do a different kind of finish. Remember we saw those other pictures? Let's see. Let me just, I don't want to see my passcode. Oh, is everybody, okay, let's see. Oh, my passcode's not working. There we go. So there's other things, well, sometimes they're just finished off, and then this one has a little knob on it. That one has a little handle on it. This one has a little arrowhead on it. That's the picture he sent me, had a little bit of an arrowhead. So maybe we could do some kind of pointy thing. We bend this out, and then we're going to bend this bakery. Yeah, that'd be fun. Cool. Very nice. Oh yeah, I've done like knives, forks, and spoons, and I don't know how many of these I've done on the live streams, but I've definitely done them in the past. And could probably just search the just look through the playlist of live streams, because I'm pretty sure there's other ones for other food and stuff. So there we go. We're gonna bring this one in here and just finish the end. So whether this looks, I mean, it's not too bad. I like it when this is a little more pointy, like if we just kind of bend it out like that, looks a little better. And then we can just trim the end and just kind of hide the end in there. So we're just going to trim the end and stick it in there. So that's one. I mean, it's definitely not terrible. And that's more solid than the last one. This got a little wonky. I'm not sure how the handle got wonky, but there's the axe. Not too bad. I'm going to grab a sip of water. Okay, so now I like the idea of the sword too, with a little twirly whirly, and even with the line up the middle maybe. Oh, there's this sword too. I think the one he sent me was more like this maybe. Maybe I won't do it as wide as that with that. So let's just go ahead with that. We'll get, again, some silver wire. And we probably won't need too much for the sword. So let's get about maybe 8 inches. Should be plenty. Thank you. Yeah, it is cute, and definitely a good starting point for the design. So we'll go from there. We'll see what we can do, and I'll send Benjamin some pictures and see if he likes them. So we're gonna do like that and pinch it here, there, and then we need to split it open a little bit. So we pinched it, and then we're gonna open it up a little bit. So if you need help with that, if it's not, you can just kind of go like that. There we go. Okay, so there's the tip of the sword, and then we want to bring it down. So down, you can kind of curve that out if you want. Out, and then here. Make sure I'm staying on screen. Here and down. I'm back to my streaming on my iPad, because the iPod, or it's actually an iPhone, was not behaving, and it was really fuzzy. I didn't quite understand why it was fuzzy. So this would be kind of a basic sword shape. I think it would be, you would want to make it quite long. And then for the handle part, if you do want it contrasting, let me just think of what we could do. Just because we're trying some different stuff on this, we can get the gold wire again, maybe about 10 inches or so. And if we start at the bottom here and wind it first, so we're going to hold this here, hold it really tight, and then we're going to wind this up a few times here. Okay. So we can just wind it around. Okay, so if we did something like that, we could bend these in a little bit. Okay, so this can be the starting point for the sword. And then if we want the handle, yeah, gold 22 gauge, yeah. So if we want the handle like that-ish, we can bring it up, and let me just see how we want to do this, because we also want it to stay in place. So if we want to bring this up, this seems to go more, we want it more towards the handle, so sort of the, yeah, so the base. So if we do this, and let's see what we've got here. Yeah, so if we do this, that could start being that this is, I'm not sure what this is doing. And then we can, if this is going to be kind of the handle part, we're going to bring this, in fact, this I might opt for 20 gauge. If in the final one, it's, I'm finding the 22 is a little bit soft, but if we bring this one down here, like that, curve it, and then here, we're going to bend it to the back, here, and then around. Okay, so if we've got that type of thing, it looks pretty good. And then we want to twist it around here. And you could also do the crisscross here if you wanted, or leave that just like that. So this is how it looks, just straight across here. And then if you wanted to twist it, like crisscross it, we could try that. We can go around here, go one here, and then here, underneath, and then up here, I guess. Yeah, let me just see. Go here, underneath, and then maybe up here a bit better, and then down underneath. Either way you want to do it. If you could crisscross it, I'm not sure if I like it that way or this way better. Down here, and then up this way. Okay, so in any case, the idea is just to kind of crisscross it, and then you can, I guess, go around this again if you wanted to. We're just playing around with it. So let's clip the end, and that kind of works a little bit. And then we're just going to, this looks like it's slipping up and down, so we have to figure out a way to solve that problem. We're just going to curve this. I think the 20 would have been maybe better for this. We want this to sit like that. This may be like a weave. Might have been better for that, but also might not. So what I want to do here is I will clip one end. How high do I want it? Yeah, I'll clip one end. And then we're going to bend this end out and clip it to about 3/8 to 1/2 inch. And then we're going to bring this one in. Oh, I didn't do the zigzag. I didn't do the spiral in the middle after all, but that's okay. So if we just made that end into a loop, the trouble is, like, this was still wiggling, right? So to get that to stay, we have to somehow hook it in the loop to make sure it stays. So what we can do is bring this around and then loop it, as we've done in the past, through that loop, because you have to figure out a way to anchor it. So if we bring it through there, it might look a little funny, but at least it will anchor it in place. Okay, so now we're gonna clip that here. It's hard to access it sometimes. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so now it's anchored in place. It looks a little funny, but it's okay. And then we've got this handle coming down. Maybe curve it more. Hi, Uel. How are you? Next one, fold the sword and up in the handle. Ah, this end up into the handle. Could do that, and then it won't twist maybe. I think I'd have to see a picture of that to imagine what you're saying, but I think I understand what you're saying. So now this works all right. Like it's not, it twists a little bit still, but I think the 20 gauge wire would work better. I find that the 22 is a little thin, but we've got the idea, and we actually, you know, have a basic sword. So yeah, it's definitely twisting a little bit more, a little bit here. So yeah, maybe bringing the wire back up would help. We'll have to figure that out. And we're just going to play around with it, and I'll definitely give it another shot after the live stream. But for now, we'll try to do the basic design. So that's not too bad. So there's a sword. I do like the contrasting gold with the silver. And we've got the sword and the axe. So size-wise, let's check. So axe is a little on the short side. He said between 1.5 and 2 inches. And this one is maybe better. It's like 1 3/4 inches. So I think I'll make the axe next time a little bit bigger. I'm gonna grab a sip. Flatten the wire. Now that's a brilliant idea. Yeah, if this wire was flat, that would definitely hold in place better. So maybe I could do that. You just have to be careful of the tip. But yeah, I like that idea to make it more flat, and even for this part too, to do a flat wire. That could be interesting. Yeah, I'll definitely give that a shot after the live stream, because I do have the flattener that I could do for that. Yeah, we'll try that. And then I'd use a thicker wire though, because this is 20. I'd have to use like maybe 18. So there's that. So now let's do this lance, and we're going to get some 20 gauge wire. Yay, that's awesome. Small models in resin. That sounds fun. I'd love to see pictures. If ever you guys want to share pictures, you can email me at heatherboydwire@gmail.com. If ever you want to send me pictures of your work, I would love to see. So this is 8 inches. So now, yeah, pictures would be cool. And then if you want me to share them, I can share them in the community section of this channel, because this channel, it's for wire, but I'm not as strict on this channel for like sharing photos and stuff of things that aren't exactly wire, because this is my kind of fun live stream, slideshow. I might be doing some vlogs too on this channel. I haven't quite decided, but this channel is a little more chill, and we can, you know, talk about all kinds of interest things with wire and other media too. I do have the art channel too, but that's not really related to this. So now we want to do a kind of a lance. So the lance will start on the end like we did the sword. So from the middle, let's just start from the middle, and we're going to bend this on a very sharp angle. Okay, we'll bend that on a very sharp angle, and we're going to give that a little pinch here, and we will bring these out as we did before. So we want to bend it out on an angle. There we go. We really want to stick that out. So there is our nice pointy tip, and then we're going to bend this across. We're going to push it here, and then we want to bend it up too, and then this side too. We're going to bend it across here. Get a good little push. So we've got a triangle, and then we're going to bend this up. So we're going to bend this one up, and then this side too. We're going to bend it up. These are my precision round nose pliers, so it's hard to get more precise than this. We want to just curve this one out a little bit more. Okay, so there we have our really pointy end, like that. So that end's really pointy, and then this is the rest of it here. So we just have to decide. Let me also look, see what other lances look like to get an idea. So we're going to do a lance That was from a picture that he sent me. So yeah, there's some of them have a long kind of sword. Some of them have a long sword, and some have the little pointy sword end. Yeah, a lot of them have the long pointy sword end. Oh, this one's cool. It's got like a little curly whirly on it. I'm not sure what that is. That's interesting. And then this one has a little thing on the end. I don't know what that is. Okay. Yeah, a lot of them have these long ends. Well, this one has like little, oh, so it's very long. Look at that. Okay, I didn't know this. So these are very, very long. This one has ribbons on it. Interesting. This one also has ribbons on it. Some kind of, this is what Mirta was talking about, wrapped in leather. That's cool. So it's got the lance with the little arrowhead thing on the end. Okay, so there's a lot of possibilities with this. And now we have to figure out how we want. So it should be actually longer. I would say it should be longer than the axe, maybe. So maybe at least by half an inch, at least so it's symbolically longer, even if it's not exactly longer. And then from here, we can, let me just try to think of what we can do here. As we can just wind it as we did before, or we can do something else with it. I'd like to make it look a little bit more fancy than just that. The other thing we could do is maybe twist the ends. I mean, we can do anything we want because this is a prototype. So, horseback. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, I have to find out more about Dungeons and Dragons because I'm not super familiar with it. So right now, I'm just trying to twist the end for fun. I just had an inkling to do this. And then we can just twist it. I'm kind of twisting it backwards. I usually twist the other direction, but because of the way I was holding it, I twisted it that way. So that's kind of interesting to twist it like this. And then this one we can put on like top of each other. I would like to add some gold to it. So the other thing we can do with this is we can clip it. And then if you want to make the end fancy, I think we're going to be combining cultures here, but I want to make it, maybe we could do like almost a Celtic type end to give it a little bit of interest. The idea with a design is just to make it interesting. So if you do this type of thing, even if it's not culturally correct, it might be interesting looking. I also might not do it like that at all, but this is just an idea to make it look interesting, to do like a little triple loop on the end. And we could clip that. And yeah, I'll definitely do a little bit more research, a couple more prototypes, and I'll let Benjamin decide what he wants. But this is kind of funky, and we just have to straighten it out a little bit. It's not super centered. Maybe we can move it over a little bit. No, I might be able to move it, just center it over a little bit. Yeah, if it's a little off, I'm not going to worry too much about it. So that's like a little kind of clover end, and then this one, and then this one, straighten it out a little bit. Straighten that one out a little bit. And then we could maybe add, let me just see what that looks like again. It's a bit of a mismatch. So let's just see. I kind of like the idea of like a cone idea as well. I find that really interesting. I might try a couple of different ones for this one to see, because there's some really interesting looking ones that, and some that have a little, almost like a little wire around them. So if we're going to do something like this, We might want to add some gold though, just so it matches. So I'll just take a little piece of gold, about 8 inches or something. And what if we went ahead and added some gold to the twist? If we bring this one down, I can bring this one around. It's definitely interesting when you add a little bit of gold. Here, I'm going to bring that one up here. And we can even just clip the end if we wanted to. Okay. And do I want to keep twisting it? I don't know. I feel like it needs more detail. Although I don't mind that. And I mean, you could do a little ribbon thing, but I think if this is a game piece, we might not want to go too crazy with that. So if anything, maybe we'll just, I don't know, I'm just playing with this for now. We had like a little, just to give it a little bit of an interest on there. Or you can make it, because you don't really need a handle as such, but we can just maybe add a little bit of gold on there if we want to. And yeah, I guess if there was going to be a handle, you could almost like do this type of thing where you're just like, oh, I'm just having fun with it now. You could do a kind of like just a little weird chaos wrap thing if you wanted to. It looks a little bizarre, but it's kind of interesting too, you know? So there's so many things you can do. You can do like a little wrap like that, or if you don't like it, you can remove it. We can just remove that. There we go. There, we could just remove it like that and just keep it simple. So then at that point we can just cut it. Okay. Yeah, so there's, I mean, that's, I'm not sure I'm loving the Celtic thing at the top. Doesn't seem to fit to me. But sometimes you don't really know unless you try it. I do like the twist with the gold and the silver. I find that interesting. So this, if this bothers you, like it bothers me, I'm going to just remove this and see what we can do with it. It just doesn't feel right. So we can, let's remove this, open it up. And then you can do anything you want on the top if you want. I didn't undo it very well, but that's okay. We're just going to open it up a bit. And, oh, the other thing you can do is just, let me just straighten it out a little bit. Yeah, it's really crinkled out there, but that's all right. We can just make a spiral or something. So we're just going to straighten that out a little bit. Yeah, these nylon jaw pliers are handy for that. So now we can clip the end and take the end. We're on screen stool. Take this, bring it in. And, oh, broke. See, that's what happens when you bend the wire too much. So we can just try to bring it in and make a little spiral. But now my thing is too fragile, so that's okay. But that's the idea. You could do like a little spiral thing at the top. I definitely would like the spiral better than the Celtic thing. But that's an idea here for that one. I'm going to grab a little sip of water. And then I do like that cone idea. How am I going to do that? Let's just look at it again. Because I'm not sure, like if we did it, if it would work doing it 3-dimensional. Because see, this is kind of 3-dimensional with something wound around it. But I do like the idea of doing a long piece like that. So let us try something like that. So we'll get a piece of, because this one, I don't know, it's a little boring. So let's just get another 8 inches or something of wire. And maybe this will be our last one. So we're just going to take this and bend it out at an angle, okay, like that. And we want it to, I'm not even going to bend this back on itself. I'm just going to try to make it as sharp as possible. We're going to bend this up here, up, and then we want it to be like a long thing. Is this the 20? Oh, I cut, this is not the right wire, so let me just cut a piece. Okay, let me try. Let's try the 20 gauge wire. That was 22. Okay, so now let's go ahead and bend this at an angle. I was wondering why that looks so weak. Okay, I'm gonna get that up here and up there. Okay, and bend that at an angle. And then we have to make it kind of like a long thing here. Well, that might not be long enough, but that's okay. And up, okay. And then this one too, we're gonna make it long. That one, and then up, okay, up here. So that's the idea behind the long lengths, I guess, like that. I'm not 100% sure I like the twisted wire, but I also don't dislike it. So let's just try that to see. We're gonna go bend these out, okay, and I'm just gonna bend these at an angle, and then here. Shows you what goes into making a design, because I go through this all the time where I have an idea in my head and then I have to backpedal, and the tutorials that you see on my YouTube channel, you know, a 10-minute tutorial, 5-minute tutorial can take me 2-3 hours to film it because I'm troubleshooting as I go, making the design. So it's definitely, what you see is the tip of the iceberg, definitely. So now we're going to try this where we twist this up at an angle, an even angle, okay, and we want it to be a decent length. Okay, so already I'm liking this a little bit better, and it has to be longer than the sword, and we want to do another like kind of tail end, so we're going to go like that. Okay, maybe one more, and then this end also can be a kind of a sharp thing. So let's just clip this, and then this end can also be what looks like an arrowhead or something. Let me just look. Or sometimes they just have little knobs on the end. Could be just a little knob too. Yeah, because we don't want it to be too sharp on the end. We want them to be able to hold something. Although what we can do for this is we can do our spiral if we want to, just for fun, because we don't need to hang this on anything. That's the thing. It's just going to just be a standalone little piece for the game. So if we start the spiral like that, and now I have a good imagination. Yeah, I definitely love anything creative, anything imaginative. And this is fun for me, working out the design, because you never know if it's going to work. That's what I love about these live streams. And that's why I'm not afraid to make mistakes on the live streams, because that's how we learn. So it's just a fun experiment. We learn a lot, and it's never a waste of time. I have a t-shirt that says art is never a waste of time, and that is definitely true. Now this is starting to look like a carrot, but I'm not sure how we're going to get around that aspect of it. So, I mean, I don't know if I love this spiral either. It's a little bit large. So what we can do for that is, if we don't see, this is how it looks, but if you don't like that spiral, we can just remove it. We don't have to have that. We can just undo it and make a different type of end. So we can just go up and down. Let's unspiral it again. A little bit more. Okay, and then down and then up, maybe. Try like a pseudo spiral thing. So it's more elongated. So we can just do that, clip it. And then that just makes a little end a little more interesting. We could have bent this in a little bit more, maybe. Okay, there we go. Okay, so that's pretty good. You can flatten it out a little bit too. So that's, to me, looks a little better than the spiral. It definitely looks better than the Celtic knot. And then now we're going to get some 22 gauge wire, maybe about 8 inches again. Oh, Mirta has to go. Ah, no problem. I'm almost done. Okay, guys, I'm almost done. We're just going to try to do a little spiral on here, if I can figure it out. I like that idea with the spiral, but I don't know if it's going to work. So let's just go ahead and hold this here. And I do like the mixed metals too. Like if we take this and work our way up, I like the way it looks between the silver. I don't know if I'm doing this properly. I'm going to bring this one up. There we go. I do like the way that looks mixed in there. I think it's really, really cool. So I just have to make sure it's going in the right place. There we go. Yeah, so if we have like something like that, I really like the way that looks. So if nothing else, we've learned that twisting the wire with 2 colors looks really good. So there we go. And we're going to do this. And we'll just wind this around. I wonder if I could do it loosely so it kind of looks more conic, but also like it gives it a little bit of 3-dimension without having it be 3-dimension. It's actually interesting. But the thing is now, how are we going to finish the end? And it also might be a little fragile. It's cool. I don't know if he's going to like it like that, but that's cool. Okay, so now what we need to do though is bring this maybe through the end here. Okay, and then bring this to the back. Okay, and then we're going to clip it.